going on, my friends? I'm Rick, and this is your seat at the table, and over here to my right is little Missy. She's sitting real nice and quiet in the cat carrier. I had her out here a little bit ago, and she was bouncing all over the table, so that wasn't going to work. And we got her back from the ARL on Thursday, so she's been spayed. She's much calmer than she was last week, and yet we're now trying to figure out how we're going to integrate her to the rest of the clouder without her getting hurt and without anybody else getting hurt, because that's not really what we want to do. We know it takes them a minute to get all their bells and other stuff together to figure out what it is they want. So anyway, we're looking at yet another Band Pro WizKit product for Mercenaries. Mercenaries Supplemental II. Yeah, so damn, man. I mean, come on. I mean, there's a whole series. I'm not getting, you hear me gripe about it. So that's my complaint, is that there's so many of them, and yet, for the most part, they're carbon copies. They got a lot of the same material in here. Now, I will give them some credit on this particular one. It actually has a wider range of new forces, new units, or some really old ones that hadn't been, looked at for a long time. And that's kind of how they ought to be, in my opinion. We have a handful of your normal, solid, run-of-the-mill Merc units. It's like I said, they could easily also have created a whole series of these books for supporting everything from pirate bands and to corporate and privately owned, noble-owned combat forces, as well as doing highlights on individual houses. We look at, for an example, when we look at one of the great houses and their TOE, and they may list 40 to 80 mech regiments, but if you go and look at the source books, the house books and stuff, you obviously don't have 80 entries for 80 individual combat units. So, and their supporting units, they've cherry picked and focused on the certain ones that are the go-tos for the house. And so that leaves room for a lot of others that just for one reason or another never make it into the limelight, if you want to go down that road. So, it's always one of those possibilities. A little bit of info onto some less than kosher mercenary worlds, and Halos, the Scoundrels Port, and Astroske, No Man's Land, right? Hedras, Business Before Pleasure, Noisiel, Bread and Circuses, Force Brief Supplemental. We get into a Starwind's Whippets, shows up in just about every version. Bad Dream shows up in almost every version, not quite every. Black Hort Roses, that's a new unit. Black Angus Boys, been around for a long time, comes and goes, various forces. Black Omen, same thing. Blanks Coyotes, I think is a newer unit. I don't think I've heard of it before. Broad Street Bullies, once again, somebody that's new. Burton's Brigade, been around for a little while, I believe. Delio's Gauntlet is new. Derrickson Devils is new. So, like I said, there's a lot of new stuff in here, which is great. Dragon's Breath has been around for a while. Devil's Brigade, I believe they've been around for a while too. Fighting Shamrocks, I think I've heard of these guys before. Erickson's Inhernajar, I have never heard of them before, so they're new. Gale's Grinders, new. Gavhart's Carabiners, yeah, right. Golden Boys, new. Gordon's Armored Cavalry, been around a long time. Gray's Ghosts, new. Green Mountain Boys, been around a long time. Technically speaking, Ethan Allen and the Green Mountain Boys, these boys could, if they wanted to make an argument, could track their history back, way back, if they wanted to make that claim. Hampton's Hessens, I don't remember if these are new or not. I think this is a newer unit. I don't remember hearing it before. Hannibal's Hermits, I've heard before. Heavy Hellraisers, new. Little Richard's been around a long time. Kraken Unleashed, yeah. I got a bad joke for an attorney that's in a really deuce-ass problem in a shit show right now, but we'll ignore that, because modern politics and BattleTech politics should not coexist. Medusans, Looks Can Kill. Lone Wolves have been around since the earliest days. I love this outfit. I have played it numerous times over the years. It's fun. Hydra assault, heavy assault squadron, or whatever, that's new. Ballistic assault squadron, also new. One-eyed jacks. So we're actually seeing an increase of other than non-standard battle mech commands. They're showing up. There's also a salvage company or a mech repair and salvage company that's in here too. That's technically a mercenary command, although they're non-combatants. I like seeing that stuff because it opens up some windows for some different avenues for play. The Raging Horde here is, I guess, a cluster of former clanders turned mercs. Who would have known? You would assume that the rest of their clan would have come after their asses with everything they got, but for the audacity and the shame of it all, however you want to look at it. Reed's Brew, more filling, less flavor. Wow. Yeah, I think that one here, that's a new unit. He's been around a while. Yeah, Sabinsky's Salvage, that's the outfit I was talking about. Kind of like a different version of Battle Magic, which makes sense. I'm sure there's quite a few outfits like this, supporting the warriors who fight the fights. The 13th Stalking Horse, Stone's Ponies, I'm not sure. Yeah, these are both new, which is good. Vinson's Vigilantes, been around quite a long time. Tiger Sharks, somebody new. Oh Lord, please tell me they're not doing the tiger, the shark song. Oh, the baby shark song? Good God, I'm glad I was too old to endure that. Barney was bad enough. Wild Geese, and anyway, Mercenary Deployment Supplemental, Mercenary Commands, etc., etc. And then we get into some annex rules and some additional rule possibilities and alternates, some other stuff, which is always nice. It's always nice to see extra crunch. When people come down in 20 years and they go, "Oh, there's so much crunch in this game system." Well, you know what? To get a good, smooth, savory play, you kind of have to have a lot of crunch at some point. Somebody's had to break the eggs to see what works and what doesn't work. I mean, it's not hard. I think the sun coming and going a little bit now. Sure feels that way because it sounds like I lost all my light, even though I know it didn't. What's going on here? Sure feels that way. There's something else going on. I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if I'm not having other problems. No. It's like this camera's not picking. Oh, okay. That might help. That might help. The damn thing not plugged in all the way. Right? Okay. Still feel like I'm in the shadows here. Light, more light going on here than usual. And I open that up. Yeah. Oh, you can't win for losing, can you? Okay, well, anyhow. So, this is Pirates or Merc, right? Not a bad supplement. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed reading about these new units that I've never seen before, because that's kind of in part and parcel of what you want. And I'm once again, I'm not in any position to make any call whatsoever for Catalyst or anybody that makes this stuff. It's of my opinion that you should have no more than 25 to 30%, 33% of this sort of supplement should include existing units, and the balance of it should be new stuff. New stuff because it shows an ever-evolving situation of the table, but it also gives new possible windows for new ideas, and sometimes the crazy ones are the best ones. One of the reasons I've always loved Star Irregulars, for example, is that, yeah, what's going on with this? I know, like, yeah, okay. It's just like trying to find a good medium, right? So the units like Snort's Irregulars, for example, one of the reasons I enjoy them so much is because they're not conventional, and their goals are not always war related or politically motivated per se. So if you look at some of their quote adventures to go find treasure, that gets them into all kinds of conflict in other situations, and sometimes against their own side, or to the chagrin of their own damn side, and that makes for a very interesting and entertaining venue for me, in my opinion. That's why I like them so much, and they're not your tradition. They're not your traditional standard, you know. It's the same reason why I'm not a fan of this points buy-in bullshit of where, you know, you're trying to custom trick out. We're gonna have a fight on the table, and you're just gonna cry. We're gonna both custom fit. Here's our battle value. Here's how much points we have to spend or money we have to spend, and we're gonna make a ready-made combat unit for the situation at that moment. So that to me that seems like I don't know, it detracts a lot from the original flavor and the original spirit of the game, where ideally you have a military force, whether it's a house unit you represent or it is a mercenary unit that you operate. The what you have is what you have. So finding yourself put into situations where your unit's not suited for that kind of situation was always part and parcel part of what the experience was for BattleTech, in my opinion. So until next time, I'm Rick and you're not, and my computer is funky acting up. These buttons that let me transverse this split, X split, whatever. I'm afraid that the computer, like I said, is getting very quirky. And so lately, I've not been able to activate the ending. I've tried moving it to a different button. So we'll put it over here. And we got it. See, I hit the original button for the original ending, and it's on a delay. So hitting the original button to switch takes this freaking delay, and I don't know why it does that. There's nothing here on the board that suggests an unusual delay. Anyway, till next time.